good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, I need to show you something. Can you people stop your idiocy for like 5 fucking minutes? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go up here. Look what was trending a few minutes ago. Shall I show you? Shall we look? Beyond World War III. Let's go there, shall we? Let me find it here because, yeah. There we go, trending. See a lot of stuff. World War III, Lent. I have to figure out what I'm going to give up for Lent. Already given up coffee. Okay, let me just pull it up because this is what I was seeing a little bit earlier. You saw it briefly before it went away. This was trending. Let's look at this stupidity, shall we? Here we go. New World Order. New World Order. Stupidity. And then there's comparing people like Biden, like Hitler, when in actuality it's Putin who looks like Hitler. Again, I'm a student of history. I don't buy propaganda. I look at facts, I observe history, and I watch people. Christians, for fuck's sake. And yes, I am one of you, but I'm also not an idiot. For the last time, there is no New World Order. Okay? There never has been. You want to know what there is? The same thing that's been since there's been the first community of human beings. You have the rich people who want to get richer, who watch situations happen in the world, and their first thought usually goes a little like something like this. I wonder how I can cash in on that. That's all there is. It's the rich versus the peasants. It's been that way since the dawn of time. There is no overreaching New World Order. There is no gigantic fucking conspiracy. It's just the rich want to hold on to their money, make more money, usually off of our backs. And they don't care how they get it. It's not much of a New World Order, is it? No, it's not. Just like always, folk, each individual is out for themselves. Some of them are more open about it than others. There is no overriding conspiracy. You think all these leaders constantly posturing and backbiting each other have some overarching theme that they're loyal to? They're loyal to their pocketbooks. That's it. They'll tote whatever lines you want them to tote as long as it lines their wallets. Alright? There is no New World Order. At least not amongst the elite everybody likes to accuse. Do you have a group of them that individually might agree on something? Sure. But you could have just as easily called the individuals, I'll name them, Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and Rockefeller, the New World Order. Because why would you have been able to call them that back in the day? Because these three individual titans of industry, the robber barons, as we all knew them, came together in order to use their money and influence in order to basically buy the presidency. Yeah. Now, why did they do this? Were they a part of some brand new world order whose they were just serving their masters? No. It's about lining their pocketbook, folks. That's simple. Individuals more loyal to their pocketbooks than they are to values, or you or me, will make strange bedfellows amongst one another if it will keep them and their assets safe. There's no other conspiracy. Simply the rich getting richer while the poor get poorer. That's all there is. Okay? The individuals out there who actually want to change the world, that's you and me. Okay? We're the individuals who are out on our street with the boots on the ground trying to move these individuals into places where they might actually do some sort of good. That's what we do. Are we the New World Order? I sometimes, every once in a while, would like to fantasize what it'd be like to be in a world that was run by atypical brains on occasion. And sometimes I'll let that fantasy run off. I mean, after all, I'm a writer. I've been a writer since I was 10. But no, even that's not true. As much as I would love it to be, it's just simply not. Nobody's pushing a new world order. The only one pushing that concept are paranoid evangelical Christians. Okay? Are there some shady groups out there? Of course there are. Do you know what they're after? Do you really think it's to form a new world order to control it? They don't want to fucking control us. Are you kidding? That requires work. That requires effort. That requires manpower. You know what they want, folks? That's it. All it's ever been. All it's ever been. As far as politicians, well, it's not exactly the days where the bastard son would lop the head off the current king and then take his place. No, but it's about the money. These individuals aren't aligning with one another unless it's going to help their pocketbook. That's it. And it may be on one or two issues, and once that's over, they're going to be back at each other's throats. There is no overarching theme. There is no patterns. Take it from me. I'm an autistic who's obsessed with patterns. If there were a pattern, I would tell you. There's no pattern. There's no conspiracy. It's the same as it's always been. And the same as it's probably always going to be. Stop with the New World fucking order bullshit. This is how the U.S. gets viewed as a laughingstock by the rest of the world. These idiot ideas that should have died decades ago. Okay? Quit using newfangled things or even dragging things up out of the past as a way to bash people over the head with it because they don't agree with you. Okay? But the elites, they want to control us. They want our money. Okay? Simple as that. And I have yet to see anything that has ever showed me otherwise. But what about the warmongers? They're warmongering for money. Peacemakers' money. Sorry, I had to level with you because I deal with stupid day in and day out. You all know that. But this just motherfucker, what is wrong with you people? We're a typical society. When you sit there and you point to us as the ones who are the odd ones out, while you meanwhile get things like New World Order fucking trending. My case in point, ain't none of us right. Alright, we're gonna read some more of Dr. Matthew Israel's bullshit, so let's get to the disclaimer, shall we? Excuse me. In the description box, folks, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. We also have linked in their NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case those bastards actually have the balls to see through with their threat. We also have linked in there the Ozarks First article in regards to the situation with Agape Boarding School / Stone for Help Boarding School, a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has and pending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it. All of these have been, by the way, substantiated by the hard evidence done by the investigation by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor who still lives on the premises with full access to the boys, up on multiple substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You have an attorney general obsessed with drag queens to the point he can't protect kids from the real pedophiles out there. And you've got a governor who basically just swallows whatever the Republican Party tells him to. So, send help. Please share that article on all your social media, okay? Also included the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistica's massive archive on the subject, Jennifer Masemba's behavioral sheet of shockable offenses, a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins back in 2002, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity and we speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is very obviously advised. Trigger warning, we are about to descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear gaslighting, victim blaming, lies, pseudoscience, ableism, and bigotry, enough to circle the globe a few thousand times, all coming from the mouth of a man with a massive overinflated ego and a god complex. So be prepared for the stupid, alright? If I have not had my fill of stupid today, son of a bitch. What is referred to as an investigation consisted largely of the following: finding and using unverified negative accusations taken from the internet, taking selected quotations from the JRC website out of context, even going so far as to take portions of testimony given by parents in support of the use of aversives and changing the testimony to make the program look abusive, soliciting as many negative quotes as possible from persons who are opposed to the JRC, accepting and publishing anonymous accusations without researching where there was truth in them, taking selected quotations from reports by a state agency that has a philosophical opposition and is currently being sued by the group of JRC parents in the Federal District Court of Northern New York. Oh, for fuck's sake, doctor. You see all this here? Want to know what it is? It's a lie. Doctor. and a very provable one. What I want to know is, Doctor, how exactly do you know how they conducted their investigation? You don't. You're not a part of the MDRI. You have no idea how they conducted the investigation. Well, how do you know, Tiff? Oh, it's very simple because what they based it on is all of this. Unfounded accusations. Andre McCollins, 2012. Unfounded accusations. The court case that got your ass banned from your own center. Unfounded accusations. The same ones that caused you to order your staff to destroy evidence. It's based off receipts, folks. We've got all of them. Every last one. This is what's so entertaining about Dr. Matthew Israel. It's so easy to prove him wrong. I don't even have to barely research jack shit. I just go to one website where all of it's been researched and placed conveniently on one archive that goes all the way back to the beginnings of the founding of this place. He says unfounded accusations, but he doesn't give you any specifics when he's so willing to give specifics before. Funny that, right? But they took it out of context for those in support and tried to change the wording. They didn't change shit, Doctor. What they did was prove your lie. They stated very explicitly that these particular quotations were for parents who supported the JRC. They did not in any way, shape, or form try to make it so that these parents were seen to be in opposition to you. They were using that as a means and a way to show that, yes, they did read your side. It was a way to show that the report that they went to put out was unbiased. Granted, Dr. Matthew Israel doesn't know he can't even figure out how to be unbiased himself, considering he cites himself as a source 5 fucking times in this one long-winded bunch of bullshit right here. No, Doctor, these are not just false accusations off the internet. These are accusations that have been substantiated by the New York report and the UN. And by the way, very interesting that you decided to ban. You see that? That's Northern New York. No, honey. That report was done by the New York State Department of Special Education. It was not focused on one side of New York. It was the entirety of the fucking state. They oversee the education of disabled kids from all over the fucking state. Not one part of it. That's a lie, Doctor. That's a lie. But our parents are suing them, which proves what? The New York Department of Special Education backs up their statements with not one, not two, but 3 different investigations spaced very much apart from one another, and 3 different groups of people sent out. All came back reporting the same things. What they said is corroborated by the testimonies that you're just telling us are internet accusations. You're basically trying to demonize the New York State Department on Special Education. But you're trying to pass it off as just one part of the state. That's a lie, Doctor. That is a lie. and is exactly that court case that forced you to step down to avoid jail time for obstruction of justice. Funny that, right? Without any reference to JRC's responses to those accusations, all of which are available on JRC's website, and presenting as facts outdated, rehashed, and long since refuted accusations, some of which are now as much as 30 to 40 years old. You call that refuted? Doctor, I read your response to the New York report from 2006. It's a fucking joke. That whole thing was a joke. I tore it apart with barely even trying to. You didn't refute anything. You did your same condescending double-speak big words and just pulling words out of your ass, and we just have to accept them because doctor, that you always do. You're not refuting anything. This whole document that we're reading here is not refuting anything. You're the equivalent of a whining toddler throwing a fit in the middle of the floor because his mom said he couldn't have ice cream. Where nothing comes out but a bunch of nonsensical blubs and blubbers, and you might get out and every so often a clear it's not fair. Okay? You didn't refute anything. You didn't prove anything. You produced no doctors, no independent studies not funded by you. No other special education departments came out to defend your ass. I know because I've been watching this a long time. Over a decade. These accusations have actually been proven. They've been proven twice in a court of law. Okay? Twice. We have the DESI reports. We have literally everything since 1972. And doctor, if they are so unproven, why are you not allowed to run the school in California? Because their version of DHS, or DMH if you call it what you do out here, investigated your ass and recorded your abuses of those kids in great detail. They're so unfounded, why are you not allowed to operate inside the state of Rhode Island? If they were so untrue, why did you order your staff to destroy the footage? Because that's not refuting, doctor. Those are not the actions of an innocent man. Those are the actions of a guilty man. We're going to go ahead and close on that because I don't think I can handle any more stupid today. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit those comments. Do appreciate your time. As always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.